Okay, in this section, I introduce two types of interest. The first one is simple interest. The next one is compound interest. So what's their difference? Their difference is quite simple. For the simple interest, we call it simple interest because we assume the original principle does not change. Okay? So in other words, the interest is generated based on the original principle. So if the interest rate is fixed, so the interest per each period will be same. Okay, for example, this is a formula for the simple interest. It is a function of three factors: principal, interest, and number of periods. So for each period, the interest is same. Why? Because the principal is same. Okay, so in this year, first period, the interest is 800. And in the year 2, you can also calculate, right? So it is 10,000 multiplied interest rate and 1. So the second year interest is 800. Year 3 is also 800. Okay, why they're same? Because the principal the same, interest per period the same, right? And the time interval is all the same. For the 3 periods or 3 years, the interest is just sum of them, since 2,400. Okay, so the simple interest, the interest earned will not be reinvested to generate interest. Only the original principal generate interest. The next one is compound interest. So compound interest is the interest is not only generated on principal, it also, the interest earned will become principal and keep generating interest. For example, compound interest is very similar to the growth rate of population of any animals. Okay, so compound interest is like a couple have kids, right? And their kids can also have kids, and their grandkids can also have kids. That's compound interest. But simple interest is just assume, the parents can have kids, but their kids will not have kids. So that's the difference. Okay, so compound interest is the interest earned will become a part of a principal and keep generating interest. Okay, this is an example to compare the difference between simple interest and compound interest. What we can see is, for the simple interest earned is same each year. Right? Why? The principal is always the same. Interest is always the same. Interval is same 1 year. But for compound interest, what we find is the first year is same. Why? Because the principal is same. But the second year is different because the second year's principal is the first year's principal plus the interest earned. So now the interest is 10,900. So this will increase the interest of second year. Then the second year, the interest is 981. So the total value after second year is 11,881. This will become the principal of the third year. Okay, so if we sum all the interest for each cases, we find the compound interest will be greater, and the difference $250.29. Why compound interest is greater than simple interest? And because during the 3 years, the interest earned generate interest. So this difference is considered the time value of the interest.